Steve Jobs said, design is not just what it looks and feels like, design is how it works. And that's what we're talking about this week on Hard Facts. Hi, I'm Samantha Cunningham-Zavolinsky, and this week on Hard Facts, I want to talk about design, formatting, and layout of your website. So a conversation we've been having a lot with many of our subscribers is, how do I get a theme or a blog set up for my website? I want to make it official. I'm not just going to continue to post content on Facebook and Instagram and be making noise. I need a space to identify myself. And working through this conversation, there's 3 things that you need to be thinking about. So yeah, there's probably more than 3 things, but I'm gonna break it down into 3 little bullet points that I want you to pay the most attention to. And the first is, what is this site, this template going to be able to do for you from a functionality standpoint? So what's most important that it does and how it works? Make a list to figure out what those things are, because you can have your non-negotiables and then the I would like to have items. This is going to help make sure as you're exploring templates, you're really saying this fits what I need, instead of, well, this looks great or pretty or has something cool in it that may or may not fit your business specifically. So maybe it has almost everything except for that one thing that you're like, I would really love a left-hand sidebar, I would love a subscription box, or I would love a pop-up. Well, the benefit there is there are plugins that you can add to any website. For example, if you have a WordPress theme or WordPress foundation for your site, there's a WordPress plugin search that you can conduct. Just type that right into Google and it'll bring you to a library of things you can search that you can pop into the template or theme that you choose. So there's an option if the platform itself does not have everything that you're looking for. But in addition to, does it fit all of my needs and functionality, how easy is it to use? Is it easy to use? This is one that we don't usually think about as we're trying to figure out, hey, this is going to be that stylistic approach I want to take. We get back into a template we buy or a theme we purchase, and then we're like, holy moly, this is impossible to use. And now you're 2 themes in and no website exists because it is just too hard to function. So how do you edit it? Can you use it without any coding experience? Or do you need to have somebody help you build this website? In addition to that, what kind of support, forums, blogs, individuals can you reach out to as you're building this website? So does the company you're purchasing a theme from, for example, have a support forum or resource guides, or do they have a chat that you can utilize as you're building this? So thinking about those 2 things so far, is it easy to use and does it fit your need, are key elements before you ever get and hit the ground running. So you've searched the plugin directory, you know, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with maybe X theme and add in Y plugin. But have you thought about if your website template is responsive? This is a huge one. If you answer this in no, in any capacity, throw it out, don't even look at it, move on. Because these days, most of your traffic is going to not be from a desktop device. You're likely going to have a 50-50, but more heavily skewed tablet and mobile device traffic. So knowing that, don't think about designing your website in a desktop version. Think about what it's going to look like for somebody experiencing on mobile. And that's where you need it to be responsive. So it's going to adapt to no matter what screen size an individual is viewing your website on. But really think about that. As you're testing themes, go on your mobile device and look at it from a mobile perspective. If you're not fond of how it formats there, throw it out. So as you're thinking about where do I go to get this template now that I know everything I want, here's a couple of resources that you can utilize. So what you're probably most familiar with is WordPress, which is great. Go ahead and take a look there. But you can also look at things like ThemeForest. Now, one thing I like about ThemeForest is it will tell you how many people have downloaded that exact template. And you want to be cognizant of this. And you maybe want to do a little bit of research prior to committing to a theme, because you want to make sure that everybody in your space, your competition, people you're fighting for presence with your audience over, doesn't have the exact same theme that you're going to use, because otherwise it kind of makes you blend in instead of stand out from the crowd. So ThemeForest will tell you how many people have downloaded that same theme, but also think about how you can customize them. Like we talked about earlier, is there that ability to do so? If not, you're going to be locked into the capabilities of that theme. Here's where I would really recommend you think about paying for one. And I know it may be an expense that you're not all that interested in having. However, it is going to guarantee you, more specifically than utilizing a free template, that you are one of the few utilizing that exact theme. So if you're thinking about buying a theme, you may want to look in a couple other places. So Studio Press is one, and Picdig is one that's also pretty popular among lifestyle bloggers. But again, think about paying for something or even maybe kind of tweaking your own theme so that way it is unique to you. So there's 3 tips and 4 templates to check out to be able to get you well on your way to having that brand new website that you've been thinking of. Now, if you have questions along the way, feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email, a direct message, or comment below. I'd love to hear about your journey and how I can help make sure your website is everything you've been looking for.